Hello and welcome to Community Crafting with your public library. This particular craft, these are the finished products, and hopefully you can see these. One is supposed to resemble a peacock, the other is supposed to resemble a flamingo. You may or may not want to embellish with glitter, but today we were just going to do the peacock without glitter. So that being said, these are your supplies. You'll see another section of the video where we do a more slow and in-depth review of them. There's also a printed list, and if you choose to paint, that's entirely up to you. So we're just going to move this stuff out of the way and get started. Let's see, put this over here. And first things, if you have a pre-assembled or pre-kit, you're gonna see the styrofoam balls, which are two different sizes, larger and the smaller. First things you wanna do is paint them, whichever color you're choosing, which if it's the flamingo, you want a pink shade or whatever color you choose, because it does take time for this to dry. And you do want a rather thick layer of paint just because this is quite porous and you want to make sure it gets completely covered. So through the magic of video, we're going to move these out and move these in, and you can see that there's a skewer through part of it that helps you hold it and allows it to dry without getting anything on your surface. So we're gonna move that out of the way, and we are moving on to we're gonna put the head on so that you can orientate the feathers in the back. You can make the neck and head as long as you like. In the instructions, you'll see that we say approximately 2 inches, but again, you can make it as long as you like. And to start it, I'm just going to use this skewer, and we're going to poke a hole part way through, and you'll insert part of the chenille stem. And then at this point is when I try and shape it to get the approximate length that we want. So this looks, you can always trim more. So I'm gonna make it a little bit shorter. I'm sorry, a little bit longer than what I think. Move that out. And then we can always trim more later. So something like this. And we're gonna end up trimming it, but that's okay. So this just gets us the position of the feathers, which again, if you have a kit, these are supplied in there. And we're going to use this slightly unbent paper clip to make the holes so that the feathers actually will go in. And I'm going to try and angle these. And then as you create the hole, I would suggest you put in the feather, because the surface of the styrofoam ball may or may not allow you to see where you actually place that hole. So, and you're just inserting. You can go higher, you can go lower. It just depends on your own preference. I haven't glued anything yet because I want to see what it looks like once I think it's positioned where we want it, and then I'll go back and put some glue and officially decide that this is in fact where we want it to be. So let's see, got one more. And some of them may give you problems, but you should be okay. So this is kind of what it's looking like. And again, I'm gonna shorten this. And you may prefer it. Not shouldn't have gone there, but all right, let's see. And if we have our, now this pom-pom actually has a clear bead that goes through it. And in the more detailed and slower image of all the supplies, you get a better look at it. But you can see it, it's right there. And we're just gonna thread the end of the chenille stem into the pom-pom bead. And that should somewhat resemble the head of the peacock. Let's see if we can make it a little bit better. All right, now this is where you can choose to either make it a pencil topper or something that goes on a straw. If you choose the pencil or pen, you don't go all the way through, you'll just make a hole and then obviously it would sit on top. Otherwise, what the finished one we did before was on a straw. So we're gonna make this one the pencil topper. And we're gonna go part way through. So we're gonna take the skewer, and that looks sort of right. We're gonna try and go for center-ish on it. And we're just trying to start the hole so that the top of the pencil will go. We're gonna need it bigger than that. And this is narrower than the pencil, but I'm just rotating it to try and get the general diameter. And you'll see that that's what it's looking like. And then once it's started, there you go. But we're gonna go ahead and glue the feathers in place because you can see they're kind of turning and doing their own little thing. But this is essentially what you've got. And let's add some glue and finish this project. So, you can use white glue or hot glue. Hot glue obviously will go a little bit quicker. But you just want to be careful that you don't end up gluing the feathers to each other. So there's one. And like I said before, you can always bring the feathers higher. You can bring them up here. You can put them, more angled. But this is essentially, we're just going to finish gluing. But this is pretty much your project. And again, you have additional styrofoam balls in your kit, or if you choose to get it on your own. But this is the flamingo. If you choose to do a flamingo, it's just pink instead of the blue. And again, this is on a straw, not a pencil or a pen. So hopefully you've enjoyed this craft, and we'll hope to see you in August for the August craft. Thank you.